What's up, guys? This is a special edition to Wire Wednesdays. Probably wondering what in the world Akio got in his hand. well, I'll get into that in a minute. But how's everybody doing today? I hope everybody is doing well. I have a special episode for you guys. I call this Wire Wednesdays, as you know, some of my artistry is connected to not only the actors from The Wire, but the real people that The Wire portrayed. And this actual episode, I'm going to be talking about the diorama art piece that I made around this time last year on this date. It was dedicated to the Key Bridge. When the Key Bridge collapsed, the whole world was devastated by the news. The city felt this impact. A few of my friends, they work on the dock. Shout out to Wendell Supreme, shout out to Booster. But when that when that had happened, I've seen Wendell get on the front lines of actually helping his coworkers, and which was more like family. He was able to sell his art and be able to, really raise funds before authorities or before, other people stepped in. Uh, but I want to be able to share with you guys what I just brought in, and it's the Wire Diorama art piece. This was a boot that was given to me by Timberland. Shout out to Chris Dixon with Constant Development. When I did a workshop with Timberland in 2023, October 2023, they gave me the opportunity to give 30 kids Timberland boots, and also one of them was selected to actually have their design, had their mock-up made into a Timberland. It was so dope, y'all. The experience was dope. They had brought me on board as a speaker, instructor, and just bringing me on, and also my twin sister. I brought my twin sister on board, and because I'm sorry, I taught at Walter B. Carter for years via Creative Development Studios. Shout out to Von Vargas, shout out to Shunna. I collaborated with them. It was a enrichment program, after school program, that when I would get off of Hopkins, and that's why I didn't actually share with you guys why I resigned. When I would stop working at Hopkins, well, when I would get off at Hopkins, I would go straight to the after school programs, and then after the after school program, which was probably about an hour or so, then I would go straight home and work on my gift. You know what I mean? So I was pulling them 17-hour shifts, as it seems. But what I have right here is the diorama art piece. This is actually, like I said, I wanted to dedicate this to the Key Bridge. And, this was dedicated to season 2. The first one was the orange boot. That one is collected by D. Watkins. And D. Watkins actually had created this book, that I cut out these, the actual out the pages. I cut them out and I placed them onto the shoe, as it stands alone by itself. It's something that goes right there in this little slot right there. That was Frank's son, which is this guy right here that plays on the series. But I took that out because, you have to be very careful with that, because this is an art piece. But I'm gonna set this right here for a second, and I'm gonna show you the actual case that it goes into. So this is what it slides into. My hands are full, so I don't have time to demonstrate that. But it goes into this case. So when you place the boot inside of its universe, it sits with Frank's overlooking the Key Bridge, because that's what this piece was dedicated to. And on the series, Frank was this was a very pivotal moment when he got into it with his son, and was about Zig. And I just wanted to make that piece, like I said, in connection with season 2. But for what had happened during that time, bear with me. I got something else to show you guys, because I got everything here. But this is, take this plastic off. Even though I use some of the pages, I still keep things protected. This is the book that was, the forward by David Simon, and it was written by my homie D. Watkins. And I have some of these joints bookmarked because there's other pieces that I do plan that I can't share with you guys just yet that I'm creating. But from this book, but I cut the pages out of this book. And this is a Wired coffee table book. I think this was released in 2022, 2023. But so these are, if you don't have this book, if you're a fan of the Wire, I highly recommend it. But as you can see right there, I cut that's the image that I use for the Air Force One orange couch, and I'm not going to show it to you all. If you want this book, you need to grab it. But this is, he gave this to me as a gift, and he was jokingly saying, D. Watkins was jokingly saying, my homie, he was like, "Yo, why you use that? I gave it to you as a gift." I was like, "Yeah, bro, I'm gonna need another one." You know what I mean? But I'm still gonna use this as an art piece. I can get him to sign this. You know what I mean? So when these things are um, um, in the future valuable more than what, as it kind of increases in value, that book will be valuable as well because I used it to make the art. But I'm sharing this with you guys because when I made this, I had no idea that this year this will be featured at the War Memorial in Baltimore for the Scout Art Fair. So if anybody is in Baltimore and you know what a War Memorial is, it's going to be 40 artists there. We're all going to have booths, and we're all going to be having our art on display in an exhibition curated by Derek Adams and Terry Henderson. Uh, I've been approved, and I'm excited to actually showcase some of the pieces that I've been doing over the course of a few months. And I'm just grateful for this opportunity because when I was on a call, Derek had mentioned to me and other artists and curators that were on the Zoom call the other day, mentioned how it's been many years of people who are artists in Baltimore who have been doing art for a long time, but they haven't been seen. And I couldn't pick a better time to jump on the scene. I felt like I was always doing art because as you can see behind me is shoes that's on display. But a few of my friends was always telling me, specifically my kid Hewley, shout out to her, she's a graphic artist, dope artist. She had gave me this canvas in 2019, and I finally decided to do the canvas in 2024. And the reason why I decided to do the Javante Tank Davis canvas for the very first canvas that I ever did, because I had a uh, near life death experience where my life was threatened. I was two guns was drawn to me July 29th, 2023, which was the same date that Javante Tank Davis fought. And on this night, I felt like I had to fight for my life in a way where even after the aftermath, I had to fight to want to create again. So I used the Javante Tank Davis art piece as a metaphor to keep going, to keep fighting. And I'm grateful because it couldn't happen at a better time. Because even when I was going through what I was going through, I had to live with my sister for about a month, and I recognized my sister had all these art pieces inside of her home. And I told her, I said, "Hey, look, if I ever get an opportunity to do art or to do like a free fall, or if I get any grants, I want to do a show with you." So when the opportunity came in the fall of 2024, uh, full circle, we were able to do that. And she was able to, my sister, she's been doing art. She had an art major. She played for Wake Forest. She had a scholarship for Wake Forest for playing basketball, but she also majored in art. She's been an art teacher. She taught a lot of students, and when I was given the opportunity by the grace of God to be able to share the opportunity for her to display her art and for us to do it together as an ode to my mother, Glorious Taylor. I couldn't have picked a better time. God couldn't have picked a better time. I can't make it up. It's not, all glory go to God, you know. And as much as that incident that had happened to me, how it was, I felt like it was a setback, but you know what they say, a setback is a setup to a big comeback. And coming back with understanding, taking a step back, I felt like I took 4 or 5 steps back. But had that not happened, I wouldn't even have recognized that my sister had all those pieces, let alone when we had our opening day for Twin Journeys. She was able to, have her pieces sold before the show even started. So that was a blessing in disguise. And God works in mysterious ways. He takes all the things, all things that are bad. He works and he makes it into our favor. He works it into our favor. All things work together for the good for those who love the Lord. And I believe was that definitely was the case. So, like I said, if you're in Baltimore for Artscape, which is next week, definitely check these art pieces out. It's going to be some brilliant artists in the building. You know what I mean? So I'm excited for that. I'm gonna cut this one short because this vid, I want to be able to be more timely with my videos and how I'm able to share things. But again, like if you want to follow anything that I'm doing, any updates, definitely check out my gram. You know what I mean? All the details will be in the description. Shout out to Bobby too. Bobby was the one who actually commissioned me to do the orange couch. We first were just going to do one pair, but then when I was working on a diorama art series, stretching out the shoes, I just started thinking of shoes in a way where I wanted to create sculptures out of them. And it just so happened that the very first shoes that I did that with was with the Wire book. And, it was a huge success, but yeah, definitely tap in with me, y'all. If you look at the links, vote for me as well. I've been nominated twice for 2 different categories for Baltimore Best Magazine. Definitely go on ahead and click those links and vote for your boy. Vote daily. It's free. You ain't gotta worry about spending no money. Definitely, I thank you in advance. All right. So yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Let me know what you think. If I left any tabs open, again, you know what to do. Leave a comment down below and let me know what it is. All right. Peace.